Good morning and happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chum Change. This is live and recorded, and today we're going to see some chaos erupt on Cnbc television. It was quite interesting watching it as soon as it came out yesterday, but we're going to watch it again and we're going to go over it. For anybody that may be new here, what we typically do is I update myself with crypto news and I bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's here and then we will get into this. Sorry, my kids are killing me this morning all over the place. All right. Let's see. We have Mr. Overboard Tech, my man. Appreciate you. Neomorphous, Nicholas Pitts. What's up, man? Rob Mines, Andrew Masad. All set. Good to see you. Chris Hanley, Lawnmower Man. My man. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Crypto Bedell. Good to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you in a minute. Dumpster Fire. Tim I Am Crypto. Good morning. Everybody else I may have missed, I apologize, but let's get into this. Market. Let's see what we're looking like today. Bitcoin 51,319. Look at that. Ethereum just under 3 grand at 29.56. Looking pretty good. We have Litecoin at 68.86. Dogecoin just under 8.5 cents. We have AVAX at 36.99, almost 37 bucks. Solana's at $104. HBAR is at 11 cents. Kaspa is just under 17 at 6.8. Render. Holy crap, Render. Looks like it's up 16.12%. Wow, $7.15. Hadouken for Render. Perfect. Anybody's into friggin' Render, that's crazy. Killing it. And GRT, whatever that is up 28 cents. I'm not into that, but interesting. All right, let's show crypto bubbles quick. Wow. Look at this. Jasmy coin. You know what? Someone was telling me about this a long time ago, and I never jumped on the boat, but it's up 19.5% today. That is crazy. Over a penny and a half. Look at that. Nice. We have, let's see, WorldCoin came out of nowhere. Man, I haven't heard much about this at all in a while, actually. 28.8% up on the day. If you guys have any questions, obviously just at me in the chat and we'll get into this. Let's see. Yeah, Render's killing it, Mr. Game with Smokey Dan. Good morning, sir. Good morning. AGIX 34% on the day. Singularity Net looks like it's at 70 cents. Again, Render 16.8% up on the day. That is crazy. Absolutely killing it. $7. I can't believe it's a $7. Damn. I remember telling DJ Mines about this one. Was at $2. Man, I wonder if he's still in it. The graph. Looks like the graph's up 16.1% today. BGB, BitGet token, is up 8.3% at $1. We have MNT up 7.1% up to 76 cents. Nice. Man, things are looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good. All right, Flashbang, Fear and Greed Index. We got 74 on the Fear and Greed Index. Again, I don't really worry about it till it's about over 75, but as of right now, we're teetering that line of uncertainty, or it seems so, right? But anyways, yeah, it looks pretty good. Whole market looks good. Top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, XRP, Lido Staked Ether, USDC, Cardano, and Avalanche. Did Lido Stake Ether jump over USDC? Because I feel like that just threw me off a little bit while I was saying it. Neat. We have Dogecoin in 12th place again. Looks like it flipped Chainlink. I think it was down in 13th, was it not? Am I mistaken? Let me know in the chat if you guys remember. Let's see, Litecoin in 22nd place. Kaspa is holding in the top 30 at 27, or in 27th rather. Again, just under 17 cents. Ethereum Classic in 32nd place at 25.96. Let's see. Nothing else really. Well, Render's up to 43. Let's see. Mr. Luke in the chat. My man, appreciate you. Perfect. Thanks for the $5 super chat. So your channel is the most coolest and most awesomest thing I've ever done watched. Makes me want to go outside in a warm winter day and invest. You're awesome. Appreciate you, Luke. Thanks for that. Oh, look it.
It's a fucking good.
Mr. Geek of All Trades is here. Good morning, sir. Thanks for being here. By the way, guys, there's a new coin that we're going to be talking about in just a second, and I'm going to make a video about it in a little while, but let's move on to the mining segment of things. We have the IB Link BMKS Max 11 terahashes making $110 a day. There is actually a new coin that we can mine with these that'll make like $50 more on top of this per day, which is kind of crazy. So we'll get into that in a minute. Windminer K9 looks like it's making $108.66. This is the 10.3 terahash model. We have the Ice River KS3, which is 8 terahashes, making 82.87 a day. KS3M's making 59.75. Looks like the X16P, shout out to Jingle Mining for letting me borrow that. I think Max is just about done with his testing on this unit. Is making 23.34 a day. We have the Ice River KS2 2 terahash unit making 19.76. Again, I like to timestamp these, just see where we're at, you know, like a year from now, what the new miners will be, and just to kind of remember what these were at. We have the Superscaler K10, the most profitable as of right now. Looks like to be Carlson. It was a lithium not too long ago. $14.20 a day. Actually, how is lithium doing? I want to look, because it was pumping. It's still over $3, which is freaking insane. $3.13. And you know what, to be honest, looking at the market cap here, I think that man, this has a lot of potential still to pump way higher. That's really not that big. 222 million. It's really not that big considering. Look at Kaspa, right? Look at Kaspa right here. We got 3.8 billion. You know what I mean? So there is just crazy amounts of room to grow if a lithium ASICs are on the assembly line coming soon. I guess we'll have to see. All right, the 1 terahash unit, 600 watts KS1. We have 988 per day. Mr. Broski's, you are correct, sir. Let's see, DNX making a comeback. Is Dynex doing all right? I haven't looked at Dynex in a while, actually. I know Flux is at over 80 cents. Oh shit, Dynex 85 cents. Hell yeah, Hadouken for Dynex and Flux. Actually, how's Flux doing? Let's see. Flux was doing pretty good yesterday. Look at that, neck and neck, 84 cents. That's perfect. Hell yeah. All right, let's see. Last couple things I want to look at. Let's just see the L7. You guys know I got this down to Terra Hosting. Shout out to them if you guys are interested. Links in the description. 10 cents per kilowatt hour. I am making $4.89 merge mining Doge and Litecoin. Again, they need to add the Doge symbol here. Let's see, the KS0 Pros 200 gigahash unit making $2, over $2 a day. Hell yeah, $2.02. That's great. Actually, that's really great. I actually got mine on a different coin, and we're gonna see that in a second. Let's jump over to GPU mining profitability. Actually, you know what, I'll show you here because it's not listed on mine, the ASIC yet, but over here, as you can see, the IBLink BMKS Max on SDR. This coin was just listed on Trade Ogre yesterday. Let me see. You know what, I'm not gonna go through it yet. I'm gonna make a video in a little bit actually about this coin and check it out. But it's another Kaspa fork, but it is ASIC friendly, which is kind of crazy. So it's yeah, you guys could definitely make a buttload of money with this. As you can see, the revenue is $179. If you look at mine, the ASIC, $110, making like 50 or 60 bucks more, which is crazy. So do what you guys will. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. I don't know how good or how long this is going to last, but this SDR coin, I don't know. To make more money, do it. All right, looks like, wow, look, another Kaspa fork, top of the charts. NXL on the 4090s. That's that Nexilia coin. This is the fork that's like AI kinda. I don't know. But anyways, Hyper and Lithium looks like to be the highest revenue. We have Pyrant as well on the top of the charts today. Conflux and Radiant. Neox is actually up here for 3090 Ti. Interesting. Ergo and Radiant as well. Nice. That's pretty much going to do it. All right. We have a lot of stuff to go over. So first things first, what we're going to do before we get into the craziness of CNBC television, we're going to go through the Nvidia earnings clip right here. It's about 6 minutes long, and then we will we'll get into the fun stuff. Guys, that like button, appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
On Nvidia's big quarter, what it means for them, semiconductors, markets, your money.
If you guys don't know, Nvidia just posted their earnings yesterday, and yeah.
Joining us now is Wedbush Managing Director Dan Ives and the founder and president of EMJ Capital, Eric Jackson. You got my point. Listen, there's no doubt it's a big quarter, Dan. Okay, I mean, it's a huge quarter. As you call him, the godfather of AI, strikes again. Investors love it. Everything's up. Do you at all worry, at all, maybe not, that they just simply won't be able to make enough of this to meet all these super bullish investor expectations?
Look, I mean, as the godfather of AI, Jensen spoke, the market listens. And this shows this is not peaking. the demand's going to continue to accelerate. All of our supply chain checks, we don't see any major supply issue that dents this story into 2025, which is why I believe this puts jet fuel in this tech bull market. Call it a Taylor Swift moment for the tech market. But I believe this is probably the most important earnings that we've seen from any company in the market for the last 5 years.
Eric Jackson, is there anything at all in the quarter that sticks out? I'm not trying to be negative. The stock's up. Everybody loves it. So there's 49 buy ratings and 4 holds on the stock. I mean, some point, somebody's just got to say, well, could something go wrong here?
Well, I own it, Brian. So obviously,
well, you're not the guy then.
I'm thrilled. I love this. I think we're in the second inning of the 9-inning game here. But if you're asking me, is AI a bubble? Yeah, it's a bubble. But I would argue that anything major that you've made a ton of money from in tech over the last 20, 25 years started as a bubble. .com was a bubble. iPhone in 2007, 2008 was a bubble. We're starting to obviously see some of the signs of a bubble. Like, when NVIDIA filed the 13F report in a week ago or so, and it said it had an investment in SoundHound, and suddenly the stock was up, 80%.
It's doubled. SoundHound has doubled in like 3 months.
Yeah. So those are signs of a bubble. But do you want to invest in Amazon in 99 or Apple in 2007, 2008? I mean, NVIDIA is still very in the early days of this rollout for AI.
Do you guys agree with that? They're still in the early days. I think they are, and I think NVIDIA is probably going to see quite the explosion in the next couple of years. I mean, in the stock price as a whole, it's really, it's $700 or so, but it's really not overall that much with a brand new world coming with this AI stuff. You know what I mean?
Most enterprises, are probably going to have a board meeting tomorrow and say, did you see those NVIDIA earnings last night? What is our AI strategy? And that is going to fill the top of the funnel for the next generation of customers that's going to come, next quarter and the quarter after that.
But listen, I'm telling you, Dan, next time I go in for a contract negotiation, I'm going to remind my bosses, you can't spell Brian or Sullivan without the letters AI in either name. So that right there should just double, or I'll be making Dan Ives kind of money after that. But on a serious level, there's a lot of things out there. Listen, it's not necessarily your wheelhouse, Dan, but things like enough electricity generation to power the data centers in Loudoun County, Virginia. There are constraints out there. And the only reason I'm mentioning this is doing this for 25, almost 30 years now, is that when everybody's on one side of the ferry, whenever you think there's nothing that could go wrong, sometimes that's when waves hit. And they may not. And NVIDIA may double from here. I'm just saying that there's got to be something out there that people need to particularly focus on.
Look, I think the biggest issue continues to be China. I think what was so jaw-dropping in terms of the quarter, even with China on the decline, look at the actual quarter. Now, to your point, I don't think we hit some of those issues in terms of supply or even electricity, not for another 18, 24 months, which is why, Brian, we believe this is a 1995 moment. This is not a 1999, 2000 moment. And that's why I think for the tech bulls, this is really, what I view, it's a game changer moment that the godfather of AI delivered yet again.
There you go.
Godfather of AI.
AI, like you said, you named some other names. It's probably going to change the world. I get that, but your point,
definitely going to change.
Not me, that there are certainly parts that are a bubble. What's your advice to particularly newer or sort of just more retail or amateur investors and traders out there right now?
The only thing that scares me about AI is, man, I forget who said it perfectly, but it's going to be no hard feelings when it comes to them. It's no different than ants to us, right? We're going to build a road. Nothing against the ants, but that road's going in whether they want it to or not. AI is going to treat us the same way. You know what I mean? They're going to pave a path, and it sucks if you're in the way. Too bad. It's going to happen regardless. So that's the only thing that really terrifies me about AI. If they don't get it under wraps, it's going to be kind of crazy, like right off the bat. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to do your homework, like at any time, in the history of the stock market, right? You can't just look for a hot tip on a stock message board or on Twitter or X or whatever and just run with it. I mean, do your research. I think, a name like Supermicro, which you just mentioned a few months ago, that's a legitimate company. If I'm right and we're still in the early innings of this rollout, even though it seems crazy, they've gone up $100 a day over the last few weeks. I mean, this could be a $3,000 stock in a couple of years.
You hear that? Could be a $3,000 stock in a couple of years. And you know what? I agree with him. I don't think it's wrong. I don't think he's wrong at all. AI is going to be crazy for this stock.
I think that some of the stocks that Nvidia just has an investment in, I'm less excited about that. So you just do your research. Try to read up on stuff. Find the most smartest people in the room, like people like Dan. And go from there.
Yeah, it's good advice, though I think you would assume that fundamentals might matter in that situation. Dan, I can't let you go. I got to ask you about Palo Alto Networks. I'm sure your clients are calling you as well. Listen, the stock got destroyed today, down 28%. They slashed full-year billings and revenue guidance. I will add,
I have absolutely no idea what this one is. Do you guys?
The stock is still well higher over the past year. So it is well up over the past year. It got whacked. High beta stock, obviously. Are you still a believer in Palo Alto Networks? Because today was tough.
It was a tough look. It was a brutal for bulls and for us. But look, it was a nightmare on Elm Street quarter and a conference call. But the bull story's still there. In other words, this is still probably third inning of a 9-inning game relative to the cloud and AI opportunity. We've been here before with Palo Alto. So
it's a networking hardware company for like commercial hardware. Gotcha.
This is not the time to throw in the white towel. I know many have. I think we sit here 6-9 months from now, and this was more of a golden buying opportunity and overreaction rather than the time where this structurally declined.
Interesting. All right, real quick before we jump into any more news and see the unraveling over here on CNBC, I want to show you guys this. So Brian Hollywood actually asked me, what the hell? How did that even just happen? It just happened. How did that go to? That was so weird. How did it even go there? Anyways, I must have clicked it up here. 5 reasons to I guess built the bee. They built the bee, I guess. Anyway, so this is like the new Hivemapper dash cam or some shit. They actually sent out emails. Anybody that pre-ordered a new or one of the old original Hivemappers, the dash cams for like $300, they're sending out emails asking you guys if you're going to upgrade to this thing. I guess the rewards are going to be a little bit better or something, but your wait time is going to get pushed back. So I have a feeling they're probably either going to not be able to deliver the old ones and they're going to upgrade you anyways, or I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to actually upgrade this thing. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. It's like, I think it's $100 and something more. Let me see. Where is it? How do I even get to it? Where can you purchase it? Where's the link? Where is the link? You know what? Hivemapper. Let's see. Hivemapper dash cam. Yes, so the other ones are gone. There is no other Hivemapper cameras at all. But this one is now $449, right? So they got rid of that Pro one that was like $500 or whatever it was. Maybe I think it was $600. I can't remember. It was either 5 or 6, but regardless, this one's $449 now, and the other one's not. I guess my link, my code doesn't work for this, and the other one is not being sold anymore. So they ask you if you want to pay the invoice of $149 to upgrade, but again, your time frame gets pushed back. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that in the chat. And then also, this is that coin that I was telling you guys about a few minutes ago on the ASICS there for Kaspa, the Kaspa fork. This is the Sedera coin. This is it. It's like a, I don't know. Again, it's more or less ASIC friendly K heavy hash algorithm coin that is actually more profitable right now on the Kaspa miners. So take that as you will. Again, I'll make a video about it in a few after this. All right, let's get into this. CNBC television. This is actually just going to be patient money is the money that's been working the last few years, says Fundstrat's Tom Lee. We're going to listen to this first, and then we'll hear all the chaos over here because it came right after this clip. This one's 4 minutes long, guys. Hit that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Our next guest, who is Tom Lee, says he expects stocks to draw down at some point in the first half, but hasn't seen the signs of a near-term term top. Let's bring in Tom Lee, managing partner, head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors, as well as a CNBC contributor. I referenced our conversation. We weren't in makeup per se. Sometimes we talk in makeup. This just happened to be outside of the makeup room.
Yes.
But we're still talking.
If you guys don't know, this guy Tom Lee is like on point usually with his predictions.
I like it better when we're actually sitting down and sort of, you know, I feel like that stimulates me when we're not really. You said immediately
hell's
there's
going
some dry
on?
powder left. It's not over yet, although there are some signs of fatigue.
Yes, I mean, we've rallied 16 weeks, up 23%. The last two sort of long rallies were 16 to 19 weeks and 21 to 22%. So it's mature, but we don't see the signs of the tops. Normally, like margin debt is only $700 billion. It was $900 billion in October 21, and there's still $6 trillion of cash on the sidelines. And even
Hold on, sorry, I didn't mean to pause him, but Nerd Beast in the chat said, I read that they will give you the option to upgrade or refund. Wait, so they won't deliver the original units anymore? I don't think that's true. I'd be shocked if that was true. But your place in line, I was reading something that you'd be pushed back for those Hivemapper units. I'm not sure, though. I don't know. I'm going to have to reach out now and figure it out.
this week into NVIDIA earnings, I kind of see the stock kind of weak into the report, which makes me think the stock could surprise to the upside. And I think that would sort of help us get some more juice on the upside from here.
That's interesting. The one of your calls, which and I remember at the time we just said stop doing that. It was like a weekly call for the S&P based on an inflation number, on a friendly inflation number. Last week we did not get friendly inflation numbers. But do you think that the trend is intact?
Yes, I think there are some difficult seasonals because companies raised prices in January that made January look like a hot CPI number, and I think February CPI, which comes out next month, is going to reverse some of that, and it's going to put investors in the bond market thinking inflation is falling again. So.
Oh my God, that'd be a great time for another one of your calls. If you hadn't sworn off making a call on where the S&P will be in a week, that would be a good time to do it, but don't.
Yes, I've promised myself not to do that.
Okay.
But can I just ask one question? Given this sort of short-term bearish, would you call it short-term bearish?
Well, I think there's going to be a moment where investors have to get cautious. But it's a maturing rally, so I don't think this is.
So I guess the question is for those folks who are sitting around with cash right now. Everyone's always trying to figure out, I have little cash. If they have cash, what am I supposed to do? Are they supposed to wait for some kind of grand moment to put it in the market? And of course, timing is always sort of a challenging thing to do. Are they supposed to put it in Bitcoin? I know we'll probably get there in about a second. What would you be doing with your money if you knew things were about to get worse and not better?
Well, we know markets have a pretty good 12-month runway from here, and I don't think investors should be 100% cash. I think if they have been sitting on cash and missed a lot of this 24% move, I think they need to dollar cost average. Put a little bit in on weakness, and this has been a kind of a weak week. And then just be patient. I think patient money is really the money that's been working the last few years.
But you don't think
he's right.
That the Fed needs to stay tighter longer because inflation is still a major problem? You think that we will get some rate cuts this year?
Yes, and I think again, I know the statistics don't show it, but I think the job market has weakened a lot. One of the big drivers of inflation for the past 8 months has been auto insurance, up 23%. I'm not sure monetary policy really gets auto insurance rates down. It just has to play out. And, housing is starting to really come out the other side so we can get lower inflation.
Is it still get a soft landing, or is it getting harder?
I think the economy's actually stabilizing. And then if we get lower interest rates, it actually really stabilizes the economy.
Gotcha. All right. So sorry, I'm like changing subjects here, but I'm reading Mr. Nerdbeast's comments about the Hivemapper there. So he said, so apparently it's whoever ordered the Pros, your dash cam is going to be converted to the B for the Hivemapper dash cams. But the original dash cams, I guess they're still going to make those until they actually get the B in production or out of production or whatever. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, all right. you guys are about to see chaos erupt. Bitcoin can get as high as $150,000 this year, says FundStrat's Tom Lee. And watch how insane this gets on set between Joe and Andrew. And Andrew basically telling him to shut up, because I would be shocked if we no longer see the other guy Joe at some point on set. Let's see what happens here. You guys can let me know what you think about it.
I teased Bitcoin because I have no idea. I don't know what it's trading on. Maybe, I don't know what you think it's trading on now. The ETF, obviously, that was something. Usually it likes the Fed to ease, so you just said some positive things about that, maybe for more printing. But I said, and I was just throwing out a number. We're at 50. I said, what you said it might be strong for the remainder of the year.
Yes.
I said 75. What did you say to me?
I think it's, could be as high as 150,000 this year.
So double what I...
Could you imagine 150,000 though by the end of the year? That'd be freaking amazing. Now watch how crazy this guy Andrew gets and how upset he is about Bitcoin doing well, or Tom Lee at least saying this.
I thought was...
Yeah.
150,000, so we're tripling at this point.
Yeah, because you've got demand improving with the ETF, and you have the supply shrinking with the halvening. And if monetary policy eases, which we expect, that's supportive of risk assets. And Bitcoin's holding up. I mean, that's another reason why I don't think a drawdown is going to start that soon. I mean, Bitcoin's been rallying the last couple weeks.
Wow.
So
take that to the bank.
Those are big numbers. I don't know anymore.
And are you in, hold on, let me just go back. Are you in the camp of this is like a $500,000 valued?
Over the next...
Over 5 years, are you?
Yeah, it is sound money. And I think it's proving to be useful. And
Proving to be useful how?
Well,
it's very useful if you're an investor right now.
Yes, it's been a great store value. It's been a good risk asset. It's also incredibly secure. There hasn't been a single fraudulent entry on the blockchain since inception. I don't think any bank can say that's true of their P&L and accounting. 6% of banking transactions are suspicious, 0% on the Bitcoin.
What did Gensler say the other day? That he trusts the Oracle database more than the blockchain distributed ledger. Does that? But that was bizarre, wasn't it?
Eat shit, Gary.
I mean, the blockchain is just one big piece of software, but I would trust the proof of work concept that you now, instead of having 5 people manage an Oracle database, you have a consensus mechanism, and that's what's
exactly.
So, but Tom, here's the flip side of that.
Ready for this?
And you've heard it from the Jamie Dimons of the world. Maybe
I feel like somebody's in this dude's ear and being like, say this, say that.
With Warren and others who say, despite what you said about sort of how good the blockchain is to be able to find where things are, it is the medium of choice for ransomware. I mean, just you go through the list of sort of terrible illegal behavior. People in that world seem to love Bitcoin. What does that say about this?
Well, pirates were the first people that liked gold, so we knew gold was a good store of value.
Facts. That was like a perfect comeback.
But I think equally important, the dollar is used in more illicit activities.
99.
I know, we talked about that, obviously.
99.
As soon as they start saying anything about the dollar, he starts losing it.
0.9.
And Joe's made that point before, but you don't. So you ascribe nothing to the idea that Bitcoin is a beloved currency for those who are trying to do nefarious things.
Well, here's a way to think of it. Criminals don't trust anybody, but they trust Bitcoin.
Facts.
And so if you want to say what is a trusted asset, it's really what would be the least trustworthy.
This is like saying you follow the technology that starts with PORN, right?
No, I think
because that's.
I think it's like
right. I remember like videotapes and this.
It's like blaming the object for itself. For the nefarious behavior when it's the humans that are using that. I mean, can you imagine the world of pain management without strong pain medicine? Look what happens when you abuse the pain medicine. But can you imagine it with it's and I've even used you take a car or a truck.
No, of course, but some have more utility. No, but this is the difference, and I will take Gary Gensler's side on this particular description
will.
of the situation.
Yeah.
A car has immense value to society, economic value to society. There's a utility
right,
case.
But why doesn't it resonate with you?
You could argue that a strong Tylenol actually has a
but in the history of the world,
utility.
In the history of the world,
right?
If 99% of the nefarious activities were using dollars, why don't you have the same negative viewpoint towards a dollar?
Because it has a great utility in the same way the car has a great utility.
Well, you don't know. Because you don't appreciate the utility of Bitcoin doesn't mean that other people don't appreciate it.
The only people right now that appreciate
that's not true. That's not true. I don't appreciate it because I'm using it for ransomware. I appreciate it because it's a store of value. I don't appreciate
it. A store of value or
it's a store of value.
One, listen, they stopped playing the music to cut him off, right?
And that goes up. If it was a store of value, it would stay one price.
Watch his face.
No.
Like, shut up, please.
Gold was $300.
Please shut up. Do you guys see that face? Look at his face.
It's a store of value, not speculative.
That goes up. If it was a store of value, it would stay one price.
No. Like
please
gold
shut
was
up.
$300 not too long ago. It's now $2,000. It doesn't stay at the same price. It goes up as you print more money.
It's more of a speculative investment.
No, I don't think that's...
Look at Tom Lee. He's just like, oh, well, mom and dad are fighting again.
I don't think that's like Michael Saylor and others.
It's turned out to be a great investment for those who are investing in it. I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I'm just saying long term, if we're all sitting around this table,
Tom,
10 or 20 years from now...
Explain how it's sound money. It's sound money.
I understand. It's not that I don't understand conceptually what's going on.
Why do you say that it has no use then, other than nefarious uses?
No. I think the use case is as a speculative tool, as a way potentially even to hedge against other things if you think that it's correlated or non-correlated to other things. That is the use case. That's the utility.
He got stomped on, but I have a feeling that they were in his ear saying shit like, stop him from talking about this, and that's why he made that face like, oh shit, I need you to stop talking about this because we're about to get in some serious trouble. It's kind of crazy, and Altcoin Daily actually made a sweet video about it. It's kind of funny. So I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I was like, okay, I got to watch this tomorrow morning with everybody else. But anyways, Winklevoss twins donate nearly $5 million to crypto super PAC, whatever that means. CNBC Crypto World. Let's get into this, guys. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Please hit that like button. I hate asking, but YouTube makes me.
Today, USDC issuer Circle announces it's backing away from the Tron blockchain. Authorities freeze hundreds of crypto wallets in a global crackdown on ransomware group Lockbit. And Ryan Jones of Consensus, the developer of MetaMask, breaks down a new privacy enhancement feature for wallet users. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Cryptocurrency prices are mixed this morning, with Bitcoin hovering near the flat line. At noon Eastern, it traded at around $51,350. Ether, meanwhile, in the green. It climbed back above the $2,900 level. Cardano, though, in the red this morning, falling to 59 cents. Let's talk about the top stories. Circle, the issuer of USDC, is cutting off support for the Tron blockchain. The stablecoin platform announced that it will stop minting USDC on the blockchain effective immediately. It also told its institutional customers it will support their transfers to other blockchains until February of next year. Circle pointed to its risk management framework for the reason behind the decision and said the move will help ensure that USDC remains trusted, transparent, and safe. Next, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss are backing crypto-focused super PAC Fairshake. A filing with the Federal Elections Commission shows the brothers donated $2.45 million to the PAC in the last reporting period. Fairshake also reported around $73 million in cash on hand. Now, some other notable donors: Electric Capital, Blockchain Capital, and Payword, the company operating as Kraken. Ahead of this year's election, Fairshake has poured more than $1 million into ad buys for crypto-friendly candidates on both sides of the aisle.
Real quick, Fully Electric said, what's going on with the Tron network? He said he's got a lot of USDT on it. What, does anybody know what's going on with it?
Finally, hundreds of crypto wallets have been frozen in a crackdown on ransomware group Lockbit. Europol announced on Tuesday that more than 200 crypto accounts with ties to the group had been frozen and that 2 members of the group had been arrested in Poland and Ukraine. The DOJ also said in a statement that it worked with international law enforcement to disrupt the group, which has over 2,000 victims and raked in more than $120 million in ransomware payments. Public-facing websites were taken down and servers were seized to disrupt Lockbit's ability to carry out attacks.
Real quick, just kind of Googling it. It says, Circle apparently thinks Tron isn't up to snuff. On Wednesday, the major stablecoin issuer announced it will cease minting on the Layer 1 blockchain effective immediately, the first move in a phased transition to completely vacate the network founded by Justin Sun, who faces legal charges in the US. I wonder how that's going to affect shit. Weird.
All right, for our main story. Yesterday, self-custody Web3 platform MetaMask announced a new privacy enhancement feature for wallet users. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Ryan Jones, Senior Director of Product Management with Consensus, the developer of MetaMask, to learn all about the new feature. He also weighs in on what else the company is doing to ensure security in an effort to prevent billions lost to fraud.
Real quick, Mr. Lil Stanky in the chat was asking how to use HiveOS to mine. I'm assuming that new coin, the whatever it is, S Sedera or some shit. If you actually just add the wallet as I think you can just add it as Kaspa, or you can make your own what's it called? Your own wallet and just use K heavy hash. You should be fine. It's just the normal algo with SRBO LOL like Crypto KJ is saying.
Big announcement for MetaMask this week, focused on enhancing security for wallet users. Now,
Oh wow, that's only been like 3 years waiting. MetaMask to like do something about their shitty security.
Yesterday, MetaMask introduced the integration of privacy-preserving security alerts for extension and mobile app users with the goal of driving wider adoption. So now all self-custodial wallet users around the world will automatically receive alerts about potentially malicious transactions. An important development, especially because according to Chainalysis, crypto users around the world had $1.7 billion stolen, hacked, or phished last year alone. Can you break down how this new feature works exactly and elaborate on the goal of this development?
Does anybody here use MetaMask? Let me know in the chat. I know like you have to use it for a few like certain things. Like I know like NFTs can be used with MetaMask, right? If I'm not mistaken. And I know like that ETC POW, the only way to get that was like through MetaMask, but I don't know. I don't know how that Ponzi's doing, but you guys let me know.
Yes, of course. As you said, there's a huge risk within this space in terms of scams and people essentially losing money within the self-custodial space. And so there's a lot of work that we've been needing to do in terms of protecting our users. We had a few...
In NerdBeast, yes, Sedera is... no, it's for both, I think. I think it's just an ASIC friendly, though. You can do both, though, just like Kaspa.
Different methods in place already, but of course, there's no one solution that is the silver bullet. And so what's really important is we're working with specialists in the space to make sure that we are adding that protection. And so there's a series of steps that each of these different providers that we're working with are leveraging as a means to go and determine which of these applications or smart contracts are potentially malicious. And then we are able to alert our users before they actually go and make a transaction that could potentially put their assets at risk.
And so real quick, it's so MetaMask, right? Crypto Frank asked in the chat, why don't people like it a lot? Just wondering why it's not good. So you know what? Actually, that's a good point. That's a good point and a good thing to talk about. When it comes to wallets, MetaMask is like it's a hot wallet. It's a hot wallet. It's continuously connected to the internet, right? It's browser based that you could easily get hacked, right? But at the end of the day, I guess it's not really so much the wallet's fault. It's really people searching stupid shit and clicking on dumb stuff that actually exposes the wallet. So I guess it just has a bad rap, but I'm still not a fan of it just because it's such a hot wallet. Do you know what I mean? I would rather, I mean, I know they have an app on your phone and stuff, but yeah, you just got to be safe using it. That's pretty much the biggest thing here, but I just stay away from it, to be honest, at all costs.
So what's great is, of course, one of our core principles is making sure that we are doing this in as privacy preserving as possible. And so we're not sending any data externally to any of these third-party providers, but we're leveraging the data that they provide to us to be front and center for those users as they're making those transactions.
MetaMask estimates that this year alone, these security alerts will prevent hundreds of millions worth of dollar assets from being stolen. I read that a common tactic used by hackers is creating fake browser extensions that try to steal private keys when installed on devices. And that these malicious extensions often imitate popular crypto wallet extensions like MetaMask in an effort to trick users into giving up their private keys. So was this part of the reason you felt this new security feature was absolutely necessary?
I think this was
Curtis actually said, yeah, it scans every website you visit, trying to detect if it can connect. I don't like that. Yeah, that's a good point. That's exactly what it does.
one of the reasons for sure. What we've actually seen is a lot of the malicious intent comes from individuals interacting with malicious applications themselves. And so we see about, of all the new applications, or what we call decentralized applications, dApps that get released, about 10% of them are malicious. And so the bulk of users are going in this permissionless ecosystem, interacting with them, and we want to just provide more protection to them at that state. There are, of course, a bunch of different ways that people are trying to scam individuals, whether it's fake websites or fake extensions. And a big thing here is to always double check the URL that you're going for. And we will not ask you for your secret recovery phrase that's associated with that. So really make sure that you're protecting that at all costs. And so we made a series of different steps of making sure that the user understands what it means to open up and show that secret recovery phrase. And then now, of course, when they're connecting and interacting with dApps, also making sure that there's warnings that pop up for those users. A big premise of what we want to do within the space is make sure that we never block a user from actually taking an action, but what we want to do is protect and inform that user so that they can make the most informed decision for themselves while they're actually interacting with this ecosystem.
Now, earlier,
Mr. Little Stanky, use LOL Miner, bud. It'll work. That's how I have my flight sheet set up. I just checked.
this month, Consensus announced that the crypto wallet MetaMask will now let users buy crypto through Robinhood, allowing those using the trading platform greater access to digital assets.
Actually, I lied. Sorry. I have Carlson hash on that. Let me see. Let me try to figure it out for you. Give me 1 second.
Now that it has been a couple of weeks since the announcement, how is the integration going so far? And is it revealing a shift toward broader mainstream adoption?
For sure. Yeah. And so I think the integration with Robinhood has been great. The team has been great in terms of working with us. We've seen some great flows in terms of individuals moving from Robinhood to our self-custodial wallet of MetaMask, and even those going back as well. And so one of the things that we really wanted to decrease is that barrier from custodial to self-custodial. And so you'll be seeing a few more of those sort of integrations to help individuals who start in this custodial ecosystem and then move to something like MetaMask to go and interact with the Web3 ecosystem. And so we're trying to make that interaction a lot simpler so it does become more mainstream for those users to leverage a tool that's right for them.
What do you think the industry as a whole should do to move toward mass adoption of crypto? What steps?
Sorry, didn't mean to cut it off again. All right, Lil Stanky, go to choose Kaspa for the coin or the algo on LOL Miner. It's not going to say K heavy hash. Just choose Kaspa. It should be fine.
Do you think should be taken?
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer that the technology shouldn't just be used because it's just the new technology, right? It's here as a means to allow for people to do things that they couldn't do before. And so working on ways to abstract away the complexity that's associated with the technology to make it so that everyday users can all of a sudden just do something that's brand new for them. And so I think we've been making a lot of steps to do that. We're not fully there yet, but even in some of the new decentralized, say, social constructs, individuals can go, they can use their standard email and sign in just like any Web2, and they can interact with individuals within that space. And they don't need to understand what chain they are, what token they're using, none of that. And they're able to leverage kind of the power and the value that's associated with the blockchain and the decentralized ecosystem.
Now, in October, MetaMask was no longer available on the Apple App Store, but I see it's back now. So I'm wondering, where does that stand right now? How long was it unavailable? And what did you think about that development when it first happened? Why did Apple make it unavailable to begin with?
Yeah, so it was only unavailable for a very short period of time. We got it back up and running, certainly worked with the Apple team to make sure that that happened. It had nothing to do with security. It didn't have anything to do with kind of Apple's like sets or regulations that are associated with it. So it was a series of things on our side that we wanted to make sure we had in place before getting it back up onto the store. So I think from that perspective, we all worked really well in terms of making sure that that happened, and wanted to get it back up to our users as fast as possible. So certainly was a little bit of a hiccup and making sure that that doesn't happen again. But it's been helpful in terms of having that communication between Apple, and then of course we work closely with Google as well.
And people shouldn't expect it to happen again, type of thing.
Correct.
Got it. Now, MetaMask is a crypto wallet designed primarily for the Ethereum blockchain. So
Yes.
I'm wondering what you're paying attention to as it pertains to Ethereum. Is the next big upgrade, which is expected to happen soon, something that's on your radar?
Yeah, so we're really excited about the upgrade that is coming. We call it the Duncan upgrade. It's coming out shortly. The area that's really important for this is that it is improving infrastructure for us and moving more towards the speed and low cost of what we call layer twos. And so again, in terms of the differences between a couple of years ago to today, you now are able to interact with the ecosystem at a much lower cost and a much higher speed. And so that we believe will again bring on more of the masses to interact in a lot of new use cases that are associated with it. And then, of course, we are certainly very Ethereum focused, but we do now have a product that we call Snaps. And so there's something like 15 different non-EVM chains that we actually support through Snaps. And we're working on integrating those, some of those directly within by default for end users as well. So we do realize that this is a multi-chain world, and we want to make sure that MetaMask continues to be the most flexible wallet out there and can work with you wherever you want to go.
Most flexible, but also most dangerous. Just be careful. All right. This is CNBC Bitcoin. Today, chaos erupts. Bitcoin price to 150K. Let's see what Altcoin Daily has to say about this. And he points out a couple facts here. And this is actually a longer video for their channel. So I didn't get a chance to watch this entire thing, but we'll skip over anything if there's any shills in here. I think there is right here, actually. Yep, definitely. All right, let's do it. Guys, the like button. Appreciate you for hanging out.
I said 75. What did you say to me?
I think it's, could be as high as 150,000 this year.
So double what I thought was.
Yeah.
150,000, so we're tripling at this point.
I don't
considering a store value or
it's a store value, not
investment that goes up. If it was a store value, it would stay one price.
No. Like
Please shut
gold
up.
was $300.
Chaos erupted on the set of
face.
CNBC Today after host Andrew Sorkin asks investment manager Tom Lee his Bitcoin price prediction. I've never seen a CNBC host try to control the conversation like this. Look at Andrew Sorkin's face.
I guarantee they were in his ear. They have
In the history of the world,
Utility.
in the history of the world,
Right.
if 99% of the nefarious activities were using dollars, why don't you have the same negative viewpoint towards a dollar?
Because it has a
Bitcoin?
great utility, in the same way the car has a great utility.
Well, because you don't appreciate the utility of Bitcoin doesn't mean that other people don't appreciate it.
The only people right now that appreciate
No, that's not true. That's not true. I don't appreciate it because I'm using it for ransomware. I appreciate it because it's a store value. I don't appreciate
a store value or
it's a store value, not
investment that
speculative.
goes up. If it was a store value, it would stay one price.
No. Like gold was $300.
What does his face say? What does his face say? It's almost like he's telling his fellow co-host, don't promote this. Watch yourself, friend. You know we can't promote Bitcoin.
they're definitely being watched. And I wonder if this guy Joe is either going to get canned or if he's going to be having a stern speaking to at some point. But he's past that point in his life where he's like, I don't give a shit anymore. You know what I mean? How the older you get, the less filter you have. Like Mr. Max Voltage.
You guys don't get to 100 likes. I'm going to show you my cleavage.
Like saying things like that.
Why not? Why not? Why is so much of the mainstream media so adverse to Bitcoin? BlackRock's in. Fidelity's in. Bitcoin is being recognized as a global asset class around the world. Bitcoin's supply flow is about to be cut in half. Bitcoin could be at 75,000 this year. Bitcoin could get as high as 150,000 this year. The investment thesis is obvious. Listen.
I said 75.
Oh, it's funny. He used the perfect sound bit. That wasn't me. That's great.
What did you say to me?
I think it's, could be as high as 150,000 this
Hell
year.
yeah.
So double what I thought was.
Yeah.
150,000, so we're tripling at this point.
Yeah.
Nicholas Pitts in the chat actually said, what's your favorite BTC wallet? I have a 2nd gen Trezor. It's nice. To be honest, again, I'm really not trying to shill this. I love this wallet. This Tangem right here. This wallet is the nicest, well, the easiest one that I've used personally. But yeah, that's just for me. I can put it in my wallet, carry it around with me. It doesn't need to be charged. You know what I mean? But other than that, I have Ledger for cold storage and an LEPAL for cold storage. But mainly, I use the Tangem every day.
Yeah, because you've got
Code CCXD for 10% off.
Demand improving with the
Not trying to
ETF,
shill it, but
and you
for real, I
have
use
the
it.
supply shrinking with the halvening. And if monetary policy eases, which we expect, that's supportive of risk assets. And Bitcoin's holding up. I mean, that's another reason why I don't think a drawdown is going to start that soon. I mean, Bitcoin.
Panera Cards in the chat said, how safe is Tangem? Everyone's shilling it, but I have zero about their track record. Actually, their security, they have never had any issues the entire time they've been out. There is actually Hawk crypto mining. You know what? I will go to his video after this and I'll get that little stack because he actually put it in his video from the other day.
Bitcoin's been rallying last couple weeks.
Guess what? 75,000 Bitcoin price to 150,000 Bitcoin price is only the price outlook for this year. Most people do not realize the implications of a limited supply asset and a global network, that the bigger it gets, the more useful it becomes. Like, this is really the price point that so many are waiting for.
I don't know anymore.
And are you in, hold on, let me just go back. Are you in the camp of this is like a $500,000 valued?
Over the next
over 5 years, are you?
Yeah, it is sound money, and I think it's proving to be useful. And
again, this guy's track record is insane when it comes to, like, you know, speaking on stocks and stuff. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities that he's like on point with this whole Bitcoin stuff too.
Going to be useful how?
Did you hear that? Insane. CNBC anchor Andrew Sorkin pretends like he doesn't understand the utility and the value prop of Bitcoin. Oh, let's explain it to him again.
Proving to be useful how?
Well,
it's very useful if you're an investor right now.
Yes, it's been a great store value. It's been a good risk asset. It's also incredibly secure. You know, there hasn't been a single fraudulent entry on the blockchain since inception. I don't think any bank can say that's true of their P&L and accounting. You know, 6% of banking transactions are suspicious, 0% on the Bitcoin.
What did Gensler say the other day? That he trusts the Oracle database more than the blockchain distributed ledger. Does that? But that was bizarre, wasn't it?
That's why people think it has inherent value. So you trust it more than an Oracle database, or you trust it more? I trust it more than a lot of
the Bitcoin bulls say they trust it a lot more than the central bank that enables the fiscal authorities to spend money to the tune of $33 trillion.
Real quick, shout out to, was that Midwest Miner? That actually, Midwest Mining, appreciate you for gifting the membership. Thank you very much, Mr. Black Hat Team. Congrats.
That's everybody's investment choice.
Yep, this isn't the first time that all hell has broken loose on the set of CNBC. Just a week or so ago, Gary Gensler was on, and it was a fight.
How many times do you have people on this show that say, I want to invest in something because how the books and records are kept? I mean, Joe, really? It's just an accounting ledger, a clever...
It's a ledger that everyone has, and can't be double counted. It's almost immutable. This is how much has been money laundered with Bitcoin. This is how much. This is Bitcoin. This is dollar. You're so smart. You're at MIT, and people listen to your... what you think about Bitcoin, and it is troublesome to me if I look at it and I see all the merits of it, and someone that taught about it and understands it seems to have an opinion that maybe it's, I don't know, pet rockish or something.
Real quick, my friends, crypto.
Oh, there we go. Gotta jump over this. All right, real quick, I want to show you guys this too. All right, so I googled it here. Since its inception, Tangem has produced over 1 million cards and 0 have been hacked. A testament to our rigorous approach to securing our users' assets while giving them full control over their private keys. So, yeah, that's that. But Hawk did make a good video. I'll drop that in the chat in a second. If you guys want to go check it out, please feel free.
So back to today. Look how important it is for Andrew Sorkin to bring up tired anti-Bitcoin talking points that, you know, if you subscribe to us, have been proven either untrue or framed completely deceptively time and time again. Look at this.
Despite what you said about sort of how good the blockchain is to be able to find where things are, it is the medium of choice for ransomware. I mean, just you go through the list of sort of terrible illegal behavior. People in that world seem to love Bitcoin. What does that say about this?
Well, pirates were the first people that liked gold, so we knew gold was a good store of value.
Facts.
But I think equally important, you know, the dollar is used in more illicit activities.
99.
I know we talked about that, obviously.
99.9.
And Joe's made that point before, but you don't. So you ascribe nothing to the idea that Bitcoin is a beloved currency for those who are trying to do nefarious things.
Well, here's a way to think of it. Criminals don't trust anybody, but they trust Bitcoin. And so if you want to say what is a trusted asset, it's really what would be the least trustworthy
Understand that they are trying to scare you away.
They
Because
are.
I'm sure when Bitcoin breaks all-time highs and all of their buddies have bought in, CNBC will be changing their tune. But for now...
And you know what? That's so true. That's so true. This is how the rich get richer, people. Do the opposite what you're hearing on the news. That's usually how you get rich.
This
or
is
make
what
a decent
we
amount
get.
of money.
At least they still have Tom Leon. At least Joe Kernan
Not
is
financial advice.
pushing back on the BS. Look at this. Look at this chaos.
This is like saying...
And I do love how Joe actually pushes back, because he pushes back and he's not uneducated while doing so.
You follow the technology that starts with PORN, right?
No, I think...
Like, why is he bringing in stupid shit like prawn? Why? Why are you bringing that up? Who gives a shit?
Because that's...
I think it's like...
Right, I remember like videotapes and this and
It's
that.
like blaming the object for itself for the nefarious behavior when it's the humans that are using that. I mean, can you imagine the world of pain management without strong pain medicine? Look what happens when you abuse the pain medicine. But can you imagine it with it? It's and I've even used you take a car or a truck, and I can go run a car into a parade and run over 40 people. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have cars, does it?
No. Is that not the greatest point ever? It doesn't mean we shouldn't have cars. And he's right. He's 1,000% right.
No, you should have cars.
No, of course, but some
And you
have more
use that-
utility. No, but this is the difference, and I will take Gary Gensler's side on this particular description of the situation.
Yeah.
A car has immense value to society, economic value to society.
Why does it-
There's a utility
Right,
case.
but why doesn't it
You could
resonate
argue
with
that
you?
You could argue that strong Tylenol actually has a
But in the history of the world,
utility.
in the history of the world,
right.
If 99% of the nefarious activities were using dollars, why don't you have the same negative viewpoint towards a dollar?
Because it has a great utility in the same way the car has a great utility.
Well, because you don't appreciate the utility of Bitcoin doesn't mean that other people don't appreciate it.
The only people right now that appreciate
No, that's not true. That's not true. I don't appreciate it because I'm using it for ransomware. I appreciate it.
No, Joe just took his head and like shoved it right in the sand and gave him a little back and forth.
It's a store of value. I don't appreciate
it. A store of value or
it's a store of value, not
investment that goes up. If it was
No.
a store of value, it would stay one price.
Please shut up.
No. Like
Please
gold was
shut up.
$300 not too long ago. It's now $2,000. It doesn't stay at the same price. It goes up as you print more money.
It's more of a
That's so true. That was the dumbest argument ever. If it was a store of value, it stays the same price. What?
Speculative investment.
No, I don't think that's. I don't think that's like Michael
Look, I'm not saying
Saylor and others.
it's turned out to be a great investment for those who are investing in it. I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I'm just saying long term, if we're all sitting around this table,
Tom,
10 or
you're
20
here.
years from now,
Explain how it's sound money. It's sound
I
money.
understand.
I don't.
It's not that I
you
don't
sure?
understand conceptually what's going on.
Why do
here.
you say that it has no use then, other than nefarious uses?
No. I think the use case is as a speculative tool, as a way potentially even to hedge against other things if you think that it's correlated or non-correlated to other things. That is the use case. That's the utility.
Ooh, seems like CNBC wanted to get out of that segment kind of.
Yeah, I need this emoji for sure.
Quick. Look, guys, the value prop is simple. As Bitcoin supply flow gets cut in half, as the strength and utility of the network only increases, more and more demand is stepping up, more and more demand is rolling in. Mike Novogratz explains this.
I think the big story is we've now opened up the institutional, really the RIA community, right? $45 trillion of wealth are managed by brokers. And, we've got baby boomers who own most of the wealth in America, and they're getting their first easy access to Bitcoin. And you're seeing it through these ETFs, the massive growth in a very short period of time in this whole ETF complex. And I don't think that's going to stop, right? Last night we had $135 million of inflows after that slowed down from 400, 350. Paul Tudor Jones taught me early on in my career that prices get set on the margin, right? And so when we've got more buyers and sellers, prices go up. and I see a kind of a constant, these are hodlers as well, right? These are guys that are buying, put it in their portfolio and hold. They're not traders. And so the ETF buyers in general that are coming through these RIA channels, I think are taking supply off the market. So I still see Bitcoin ending the year a lot higher. That said, could we consolidate around here for a little while? Of course we could.
How many?
I'm with them on that too. You know, the consolidation around this level could be quite some time, right? But I think that overall, we're probably going to have a pretty big rally towards the end of the year. I mean, it's kind of inevitable at this point, right? The Bitcoin is getting halved in literally like it's a month and a half or so away, right? The demand is just absolutely insane because of these ETFs. So there's like two giant catalysts right there for this thing to go just insane. And then on top of it, CNBC, just the way this guy's acting makes me feel like he's being pushed to not put it in a good light for the sole purpose that the big guys can get richer, you know? Just saw the rich get rich. That's it.
Advisors can actually recommend Bitcoin as a product today versus how many will be able to do that in 6 months from now?
I don't have a perfect answer, but I would tell you at least double in 6 months, right? There are big channels that still aren't turned on, that we know they're going to get turned on, right? We're in conversations with them. These are the big platforms. And like, there's an inevitability to it. Why? Because their customers are calling and bitching at them and saying, we want to buy Bitcoin with you. And so then the sales guys who get paid for selling stuff are screaming at their bosses. And so I'm certain it's going to happen. Like, this is not, it might happen. It is going to happen. It just takes time. These organizations are very conservative in general. And, you know, crypto scared the heck out of people 18 months ago. And so there's still scar tissue. You know, it's surprising.
There is still scar tissue for sure with that. And you know what? Panera cards, 100%. Owning an ETF is not the right to own Bitcoin. And that's a fact, 1,000% fact, right? So Bitcoin stock market, or just in general, the ETF, right, goes up or down 20%. Market's getting shut off for the day. All right. Can no longer trade or sell, buy or sell inside that ETF exchange, wherever the hell you are, right? BlackRock, Fidelity, wherever you are. Doesn't matter. It's getting shut down for the day. Moves 20%. It's over, right? People like you and myself, everybody that's here, most likely owns their own Bitcoin or custodies their own Bitcoin, right? You can actually just take it off your Tangem, sell it on Coinbase or whatever wallet you guys have, and, you know, done and done. Your shit's not getting shut off on you. So it's like, it's just one of those things where people that are uneducated or are nervous about self-custody when it's really not that difficult, it's just, you just don't be stupid and lose your seed phrase or the wallet you have it on. And, you know, people that are nervous about it are just they're gonna be the ones that are bit in the ass when it comes time to selling, because the all-time highs, guess what? I mean, we see swings all the time, right? 30-40% swings, and it's not out of the realm of possibilities to happen when we get back to around that all-time high area, or even 100K. 100K is gonna be a hard hump to jump over, and when we see that shit dump down, yeah, people are gonna be screwed because they're gonna be stuck in it. And then guess what? Now that money that's stuck in it, people aren't gonna want to sell for a loss. That's just going to force the price overall to go up again at some point, you know? So we'll see.
Surprising that we have a you know, approved, you know, U.S. sanctioned Bitcoin ETF, and it's still very difficult for a lot of crypto companies just to get banking services in the U.S.
So Mike Novogratz is the poster boy for Wall Street turned crypto. Let's see what Mike thinks about Tom Lee's price prediction.
So Tom Lee was on the broadcast earlier this morning and said that he thinks this could be at $150,000 a Bitcoin by the end of the year. What do you think?
You know, when markets get new buyers and start breaking out, it's hard to have a price prediction. I do think we will test the old highs, you know, in a relatively short period of time. And if you take out 69,000, usually you don't go right through the first time. You'll touch them and you'll come all the way back, and you'll be mad you didn't sell something, and then it takes off again. But once you break 69,000, listen, it could measure to 150,000, right? 125,000. Again, what would have to happen? The Fed finally pivots and starts cutting rates, right? We continue to have fiscal irresponsibility.
Let's go back for a second. How correlated do you think that? I mean, it's funny you said that, because there's a lot of folks who think this is correlated to what the Fed is doing, but then there have been periods of time where it has seemed completely unrelated.
I wonder if they sent Joe home for the day after his little outburst with Andrew this morning.
Yeah, listen, there's two stories with Bitcoin that always happen. One, it's a macro asset, and the second, we're early on in the life cycle, so there's an adoption cycle. Right now, this is all adoption. This is new buyers coming in and being told the big picture story that you need to have this in your portfolio because we've got fiscal irresponsibility that's not going away. And this is a hard asset. And more people are believing, despite Jamie Dimon, despite Elizabeth Warren, that this is a hard asset. And so that's what's driving it now, but it's still a macro asset.
Well, luckily CNBC still has good guests. And of course, there's Joe Kernan, who always gives a fair shake for Bitcoin. Guys, this is why our channel exists.
Absolutely love it. Shout out to Altcoin Daily for that video, and shout out to Mr. Joe over there for being amazing. All right, recap segment of things. You guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We can get into whatever you guys want to talk about. I have a few minutes, and we're going to get out of here. Bitcoin still 51,215, not too bad. Ethereum hasn't moved, 29.52. Looks like we are fighting that $3,000 mark once again. I wonder how high it's going to go, actually. Miss Randy Hipper, we're going to be raiding her in a second, and it looks like she's going to be talking about Ethereum this morning. Potential 5,000. Let's see what happens. All right, so anyways, again, back to let's see, Tangent. You guys were asking about this wallet. Let's see. They do have this white edition. Somebody said this in the chat. If you guys are wanting 10% off, it is capital CCXD. It gives you 10% off of this card. And to be honest, like, to self-custody your own Bitcoin for $50, like, this is the main reason I actually really like this wallet, right? There's two giant reasons for me. Wicked easy to use. Okay, everybody has a freaking cell phone today. It just connects to an app with the NFC, whatever. You just scan it and you type in your PIN, right? And two, it's cheap as hell, right? You're not spending $200 on a freaking card. And again, I'm not sponsored by these guys. It's just, it makes sense to me to purchase this, right? I do get a kickback. If you guys get 10%, I think they give us the 10% or something, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, you guys save 10% on it. So use my code, use somebody else's, doesn't matter. This card or this wallet is just so easy, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's smart to hold your own shit. So I mean, that's what I personally use every day. So you guys, you can do what you will. All right, let's see. How's Honey doing actually today? Because we were talking about the Hivemapper earlier. What are we looking like? 19 cents, 19.92, almost 20 cents. Now this coin, I know you guys got emails yesterday. Anybody that pre-ordered one of these, you guys may have gotten an email to upgrade to the, what is it called, the B or something, the new one they're trying to do. This thing is at, or the highest point, it got to like 32 cents, right? Right now it's at 20 cents. This is where it was like, I think it was listed on Coinbase right here. Then this is the initial jump or giant pump, right? I don't know if it's listed on any other exchanges actually, besides like shitty ones. Is there any other tier 1 exchanges? No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it actually. So I mean, we don't have it on, oh wait, what's this? Kraken is it on? No, it's just it's a sponsor. So it's not on Kraken, it's not on Binance. So I guess once we get on another tier 1 exchange, I'm sure this coin will pump a little bit more, but I guess we'll have to see. Yeah. And then again, to recap things, we did talk about that new coin. I'm gonna make a video about it in a bit. What the hell is this one? Oh, this is the D9. What the hell? Net? What's net? Yeah, I see that. Interesting. Anyways, the IB-Link BM-KS Max is making about $50 more a day on this SDR coin. This is what is it called? Sedera or something? Let me see. Let me see. Hold on one second. This coin right here. So it's another Kaspa fork, but it's ASIC friendly, and you can actually mine it with GPUs as well. Right here, GPU miner. I haven't checked this out. I don't know if any of these any of these miners have viruses or are malicious in any way. But personally, if you guys are going to mine this, I would mine it directly to Trade Ogre. They do have it on Trade Ogre as of right now. It was listed yesterday. So I'll be, again, I'll be making a video about that in a little bit. As long as I get some time, I'm going to try to do it. But it's kind of neat. Embark on the incredible journey with Sedera, a revolutionary blockchain platform introducing Sedera coin, going beyond the ordinary. Sedera leads the way to the innovative Sederax. They say it? I don't know how to say that. Metaverse, I guess. So it's metaverse shit. I honestly have no idea. Not a huge fan of NFTs and stuff, and I think it mentions NFTs somewhere here on this site as well, but I'll go through this entire thing in the video. Anyways, yes, you will make way more money mining that if you guys have an ASIC. As of right now, mine it, sell it. I don't know if I'd hold it. That's up to you guys. Do what you want. All right. Oh boy, look who decided to stream today. Listen, Midnight Miner. All right, you cock. Where have you been? All right, I haven't seen a video on your channel forever. Worst friend. God damn it. All right, guys, we're gonna raid Miss Randy Hipper. I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me today on the Daily Grind. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm trying to go earlier, but clearly today it didn't pan out as well. I mean, I've been working in the studio and I've friggin' been plastering all night, so my hands are absolutely killing me. But we'll be back tomorrow morning, hopefully around 8 a.m., maybe 7:30. I'll let you guys know. But either way, have a good one. I'll see you over on Randy Hipper stream, and peace out.
Eat shit, Gary. You are a loser. You always lose.